So welcome guys, how's my hair? Welcome guys, I'm Jamie. This is Connection Vibes, and today we're going to talk about the topic that is most relevant to most people, which is how to approach women. Okay? How we do this is with honesty, with confidence, with ease and delight, and I'm going to tell you how to do that. On one hand, there's what you say. Here, I'll just show you how it usually goes, okay? So this is what we're working towards. And then we'll unpack what's going on beneath the iceberg, right? So the tip of the iceberg is just what you see, which is like, hey, what's up? Excuse me. You know what? I noticed something about you that really got my attention. One more time. So above the water, the tip of the iceberg, this is what you actually observe is, hey, excuse me. You know what? I noticed something about you that really got my attention. Okay, that's what a great open looks like. But we have to dial so much back in order for that to all be congruent. So starting off at the most basic, and this is review for people who came last week. Guys, I want you to try this on for size. Try on this belief. Just feel it and tell me if it resonates. You can raise your hand high if it really clicks. If you're like feeling some cringing a little bit, you can put it here, or if you feel nothing, keep your hands in your pocket. All right, so try this on for size. I love myself no matter what. All right, guys, I love myself no matter what. A lot of people do the affirmation, I love myself, and this is good, but a lot of people don't really unpack where that's coming from. I love myself no matter what is so much more powerful, because it detaches your self-love from how you perform. So if I go, oh, that girl's hot. So if I go talk to her and she rejects me, if somebody loves themselves and they feel like they have to earn love and they have to perform to earn love, a lot of people have fucked up beliefs that they picked up. They don't belong to you. They came from somewhere else. They penetrated your head. And now a lot of people think they have to earn love. Well, damn, that's a lot of pressure, isn't it? Pressure isn't sexy. Tension is, but pressure, no. So if I go to that girl and I have all the pressure of validating my existence weighing on my shoulders when I approach her, if she rejects me, I'm going to be shattered. And that's not fun. And that's not sustainable. Guys, everything we do, we have to make it enjoyable. Okay? Because if you want to be a master at anything, you have to enjoy the process. And if you want to enjoy the process, you can't shatter your self-worth every time a girl says no, she's not your girl. Okay? So loving yourself no matter what. If this isn't something that really clicks with you, that's a journey we can talk about at a different time. If that was one gift I could give to every single person in the world, inside and outside of dating. Anyone who feels this is rich, and anyone who isn't there yet, I think that's the top number one thing to work on. Okay, so I love myself no matter what. This decatastrophizes every approach that we have. So whether or not it goes our way, whether the girl likes us, whether we get a new girlfriend, a new hookup, a new wife, that doesn't touch our self-love. So for anyone here and anyone in the world, I want the facts that I love myself no matter what to be the bedrock of everything else on which we build, okay? So why does that matter? So if you love yourself no matter what, you're like, okay, I have goodness within me, I'm a good guy. Now we can start talking about value. This might be review for some, but value is your unique ideas, your opinions, your likes, your dislikes. So if I tease you or if I give you a compliment, that compliment has value. Do you know why? Because it came from me. Does that sound cocky or arrogant? It is. It just simply is. Okay, so guys, if you love yourself no matter what, it's much easier for you to really see your presence as value. Your time is value. Your attention is value. If you give a compliment which is coming from true appreciation, that's value. If I tease you a little bit because you look like an army man, you know, like that can be value. Even if the joke isn't funny, it's value because it came from you. And it's really important that we have this because that's going to paint how our approach is. and I get this all the time. So I like to do positive and negative example to show contrast. So positive example, hey, excuse me, I noticed you and I just wanted to talk to you. Okay? That's me coming at you like you're the winner of some prize, okay? I'm the game show host. And seriously, many people who have dated me have said, wow, dating you is like an internship on life. I learned so much about the world and about myself. Way more than in college. All right? American college costs a fortune. Just a few months as my lover, you're going to learn so fucking much. So the value of being with me is incalculable, okay? And I want you guys to really get there. If you feel that now, that's awesome. If you don't feel that, I want to prime you right now to start thinking in that direction, okay? So that's me approaching with value. Now, for people who don't realize their value, I'm going to give the negative example now. So, excuse me? Excuse me? Like the beggar with a clipboard, excuse me? Please like me? Or another, excuse me, could I have some more? Excuse me, can I please have your Instagram? Right? That's what they call simping behavior, right? That's transactional. That's saying I have no value and I'm begging you for your attention. So what we're not doing, we're not begging anyone, oh, can I please have a moment of your time, pretty please? That's not what we're doing. What we're saying is, I have value, I'm an awesome guy, and my presence is a gift, my attention to you is a gift, my honest compliment is a gift, and we're in the same place at the same time, and you just won the lottery potentially, if you're my kind of girl. But I have high standards, and I just want to know if you're my type of girl, because beauty isn't enough. And guys, if you really, really feel this way, beauty isn't enough, ironically, you're going to get more beautiful girls, and they're going to be more matching to you. So if there are people here now, and you can ask yourself, is beauty just enough? Like, just beauty with a shitty personality? If that's how you feel, if you're lucky, you'll get that. You'll probably get neither. But if you really have high standards, and you're clear on what it is you're looking for, it's like they're going to fall out of the sky. But I want to get a little more practical. So all this stuff about love yourself no matter what, this matters because that's the foundation upon, one, approaching without it defining your self-worth, the outcome, and two, realizing your value. So you come into the approach, you get it, like you're the winner. Congratulations! We're in the same place at the same time and you got my attention and I want to meet you. Oh, by the way, I'm Jamie. Pleasure. Oh my God. Where'd you get that handshake? Are you a hand worker? I respect it. Okay. So now we can get into the practical mode. And this might be a review for some of you. Guys, just what do you think are the two most common things that guys fuck up on their approach? Like the physical aspect of approaching. Here, I'll give the negative example. All right, fucked up posture and frowning, because you probably have thinking bitch face. I do. Guys, what's the key? What's the solution for thinking bitch face? Don't think, just vibe. So this is my ritual. It's a practical ritual that achieves 2.5 things. So guys, I teach this actually to my dance students. It's called inhale, exhale, smile. All right, so guys, we can do it together, seriously. So inhale your shoulders and do a circle, and then on the exhale, let them go down and back. Let's keep it coming a couple more times. So, and on the next time when we exhale, we're just gonna leave our shoulders down and back. So, all right, that's what good posture looks like, you guys. Dancer posture. And I wanna just bring your attention to one more thing. Please don't glue your arms to your sides. Pretends that you have wet armpits and you don't want to make splashing sounds. So leave a little bit of space in your armpit. You don't have to be like this necessarily, but a little bit of space, okay? If you want to do a fun little game, you can take an egg or a hacky sack and put it in your armpit, and the mission is you don't break it and you don't drop it. So this is my 1-second fix for shitty approach. Oh, better. That's better. It really makes me feel good. And guys, I do this before most approaches. Once I'm flowing, I don't even think about it. I'm already smiling. But if if, you know, I'm just thinking about the war and the economy and shit, but then I see a girl who's my type and I have to snap into the zone. It really fucking works, guys. If you're smiling, you're so much better off. If your posture is good, you're so much better off. Okay? Now, continuing on this practical vein, now it's time to talk about how do you actually walk up. Okay, I'll be brief about this. Maybe if we go out together, if there are people new, I might give you a demonstration. But basically, who's gonna be my virtual girlfriend? Okay, so let's pretend the girl is here and she's walking this way, right? Here's what you don't do. You don't say hi from behind, boo. You also don't jump in front of her and be like, bah, boo, haunted house. I get a lot of these haunted house openings and they really irritate me. They would piss me off if I was the girl. So what we want to do here, so here's my imaginary girl, here's me. So she's just walking and vibing. I walk alongside her, I roll up, I catch her eye ideally, I'll turn my body and I'll try to stop her with my eyes. I'm never cutting off her lane. I find that to be very imposing. I also don't peck in. There's a couple people from different places in the world where they just love to invade personal space, but not here, okay? So guys, and this is also true if the girl's coming head on. I'm not gonna block your lane. But if I see you and I like you, I'm gonna be like, wow, look at you. Have we met? No? Well, oh my God. But the thing is, I'm never gonna block the lane, but you wanna start talking as soon as you catch eyes, start talking, and then they have a chance. And what usually is gonna happen is they'll keep on walking. You sort of get their attention here. They're like, wow, this is really an interaction. And then they'll be on the other side of you. And it happens like this quite often. So you have plenty of times to get their attention. You're smiling, you're feeling good. Your good vibes transfer onto them. And they're like, okay, this person seems safe. Let's have this conversation. And then you talk for a little bit, blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, hey, let's get off the sidewalk so we're not blocking traffic. Hey, I've got 10 minutes. Let's grab a coffee. Okay? So this type of thing has happened many times and will happen many more times if your presentation is right. So guys, this is a true or false. Raise your hand if you think it's true. All that matters is the beauty that's on the inside.
Outside or inside?
Okay. I agree with that in principle. However, we have to make sure what we have on the outside matches. What we have on the outside has to show some self-love. So God decided how tall we're going to be, how big our dick is. A lot of things are chosen for us, okay? But everybody has things. We can always focus on what's inside our circle of control. That has to do with grooming. That has to do with style to some extent. I don't think more expensive necessarily means better. We can find things that suit us, that express our personality. We can always cut our nails. Nobody has to have a unibrow. So there are certain things that are absolutely indicators of whether you give a fuck. Okay, in your clothes, even if your style isn't good, it can be fresh and smelling good. So I hate that I even have to mention this, but guys, don't wear a reason to reject you on your opening. Okay, so we just want to make sure we're covering the bases of, dressing like we love ourselves. So yes, the beauty on the inside is what matters. However, when we're meeting somebody new, what they see in the first snap judgment is going to define whether or not they want to continue the conversation and get to know the real us and get to know the beauty that we have inside. And likewise, right after our open, as soon as we can, we want to be having interesting conversations that let the girl show the beauty that she has inside. And this is a skill. Asking better questions and having better conversations, this is a skill. It's a little bit outside of the scope of what we're doing today, which is just approaching. But if I look at you and I just want to bang you, if I tell you that on the open, it's not going to feel personal, right? And if I'm just admiring your body and drooling over it in the opening, that's creepy. But if we get to know each other very well, if we ask questions where you really share how you like to express yourself, how what makes you tick, we share our philosophy on life a little bit. This is what I call vibing. Fuck small talk. Guys, let's make a game of not asking where you're from. Let's try to delay asking where you're from. Let's try to find out where they're from without asking. really, these are some of the most overplayed, most forgettable conversations you can have. Where are you from? How long have you been in Berlin? What is your occupation? These questions blow, okay? If you want to be memorable, if you want to leave an impression, we got to elevate the level of conversations. So that's another topic. Okay. So now back to what do you actually say? So once again, our good approach, I'm about to sneeze. Okay, it's gone. So our good approach is like, hey, excuse me, I gotta tell you, there's something about you that I noticed and it really got my attention. That's a great open, because if the girl doesn't want to talk, she'll just keep on walking. Or maybe she's gonna be like, fuck off. It happens, and that's her right. Guys, nobody on the street owes us anything. So if the girl wants to be nice, many times they are, especially if your approach is missing all the most common mistakes. So many times they'll be nice, even if they're married, they'll be like, wow, thank you so much for approaching, I appreciate it. Who here has had a girl thank them for approaching? Yeah. Even if it's not a match, even if it's not going to work out between you, they're still so grateful to be seen. Do you know why? Because your presence is a gift. Your attention is a gift. And they're thanking you for that, okay? So this style of opening, the bait open or the intrigue open, there's something about you that made me want to talk to you. All right? If you want to have the conversation, how it's always going to go is, oh, really? What is it about me that made you want to come and talk to me? Something about you is personal to her. A lot of guys are really bad about making the conversation personal to the girl, so let's make sure the open is strong. There's something about you. So then she'd be like, what is it? And from here I broke it down to 3 options. So once people are in the world of approaching women, the most common complaint they have is, I don't know what to say. Okay? The girl before you, she'll provide you with the source material you need of what to say. The most common mistake people have for not approaching is, I don't know what to say. Say what I just said. Excuse me, I gotta tell you. By the way, excuse me and I gotta tell you, these are just getting the sound waves moving so that you have her attention before you say what really matters, which is what comes next. So you might be like, oh, what is it about me that got your attention? 3 ways we can go with this. The first one, I want you guys to bake this into your daily life, not just your approaches, but just how you are. Curiosity. You don't know what to say? Become curious. I'm so curious about those shoes. On one hand, they look futuristic, but on the other hand, they could be from a thrift shop. So curiosity. Even better is, I don't even have to fill in all that value. I can be like, you know what? I'm just so curious about your Easter outlook. And usually if you say, I'm so curious about X, she'll usually tell you something about it. Okay? So if you ask a question, are those Vans? Oh, yes, they are, you know. But I'm like, wow, I'm so curious about those Vans. If I let the silence ring a little bit, you might even tell me about how you used to go to punk rock shows and they sponsored the Warped Tour, or you used to skate, or you still do, right? So I'm so curious about X. And this brings me to another point, which is our voice. We touched on this earlier. I have to have this little side tangent. When we were talking about, hey, excuse me. Or, excuse me? Excuse me? I get this a lot from beginners. Excuse me? Like they say excuse me like a question mark. Like the tonality is beggar frame. The beggar with the clipboard, or like the little Oliver with the porridge, please, could I have some more? That's what we're not doing, because we're giving value by showing up, okay? So our tonality is, hey, excuse me. Hey, excuse me. It's a period, not a question mark. And in general, especially on the open, we want to avoid question marks, at least in the first 30 seconds or so. Okay? So not ideal would be, wow, are those Vans? better if I look at you and there's nothing I'm curious about except your shoes, I'd be like, wow, I'm so curious about those Vans. You'll probably fill in the blank, okay? So you get it, curiosity. Curiosity is the guiding light if you're running out of stuff to say. The second way we can take it after they say, oh, what is it about me that got your attention? A compliment. For those who know, there are better and worse ways to do compliments. I'll be brief. We're not complimenting her physique. The things that God gave her, we don't compliment because she had nothing to do with that. We compliment choices. What's great is a lot of girls in this city put a lot of thought into their style. Okay, so compliment something stylistic. The one exception, The one exception I make for physical attributes is curly hair, because I learned from dating a curly-haired girl that curly hair is a personality trait, and there's a unity among all curly-haired girls. So that's one time where I'm like, compliment the curly hair. They work so fucking hard for it. Let them have it. But otherwise, you're complimenting their style, their choices, their tastes. Who doesn't like to hear that they have good taste, right? So a compliment. And just really quickly, how to enhance a compliment. A global compliment would be, you have a cool jacket. That's like a fact, that's a global fact. A better way, which has a little bit of value, is you have a very ambiguously colored jacket. I like it. Note how you can just do an observation and then say, I like it. I like it is adding value because it comes from me. See how that works? So we can do a lot of different combinations of that for compliments, but you can just observe something and then say, I like that, or wow, that's really hard to find. All right, and question?
Yeah, so you said, like can you compliment the eyes, for example?
Oh, thank you for asking. So, complimenting the eyes. I don't like to do that as the initial opener, because if a girl's walking by, it's not very probable that the eyes is the first thing that stood out. It was probably this mermaid shape that just made things in your body go click. So if we're going to comment about the eyes, we can talk about this. I like to talk about it as a side note. And guys, as you observe me, a lot of things I talk about are side notes or questions I ask. Oh, let me ask you a funny question. Okay, but first, do you have a boyfriend? Like, I'll ask these questions in a breath in between other questions. So if you want to comment on the eyes, you can be talking about something and then you think for a minute, oh my God, I just noticed you had really cool eyes. What color are they? So you can comment on the eyes, but then you can always add value to it. Here's one. So I'm not sure what color they are, but I really like your eyes. And I know you've probably been hearing that all your life, but you've never heard it from me before. See that? So now you added some value. It's very personal. So you took a global compliment, you have nice eyes, and made it personal. So thanks for asking. Now you know. So we have what? We have curiosity. That's the guiding light to figure out what to talk about. Just be curious. We have compliments. We know how to do them better now. And then the third one, this might even be the most important. This one is teasing. So I'm like, something about you got my attention and made me want to talk to you. You might say, oh, really? What is it? And then you can tease a little bit. You can be like, I'm not so sure. Please help me understand. What is it about you? There's something about you and I can't quite put my finger on it. So literally, if you run out of inspiration and you're just blanking, or if you're just feeling playful and you want to tease a little bit, you can say, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure, but there's something. We're here, aren't we? So you can tease and you can drag it out that way. So I think that's more than enough for us to be getting along with right now. So once again, loving yourself is the foundation upon which you realize that you have value. Because you realize you have value, you show up like you're the show host of a game show, letting people know they won the prize. Because you have your little inhale, exhale ritual, you avoid most of the common problems of fucked up posture and not smiling. Like, hey, it really makes you feel better. And the more you do this, the more it's gonna snap you into your zone. So it's an upward spiral that keeps feeding itself. So you approach feeling good. Hey, excuse me, there's something about you that got my attention. Of course, with polite physicality, you're respecting their lane. You're not blocking anybody. If they don't engage, you let them go. You can even say, hey, awesome, see you later. So respectful body language. And then on the open, hey, excuse me. So we get the sound waves moving. Hey, excuse me, I gotta tell you, there's something about you that got my attention. And then from there, you can have the conversation in any way you want. Curiosity, enhanced, hopefully, compliment. So good compliments, curiosity, or just teasing a little bit. Hey, I'm not so sure. What is it about you? Okay, so now we're more than equipped to go approaching. And let me just check my notes because I came very prepared today. All right, and I just want to say, okay, guys, once you do your golden approach, you do the bait opener, you say there's something about you, I'm so curious. Usually the issues that people run into next, and these are topics that I'm going to go over in a seminar this summer, we have topics like hooking the conversation. So the people, sometimes they take the compliments and they're like, all right, thank you. Nice to meet you, right? So we need to be able to hook the conversation to keep it going. Teasing is really fun, so I'm going to be teaching about teasing. I'm going to be teaching about the art of vibing, this is universal, even outside of dating. It's just having cool conversations that get to the gold inside of people. So these are all topics I'm going to be going over in the seminar this summer, and if you want to come to that, I'll tell you how to get involved. Awesome, guys. So what are we doing for time right now? Awesome. Here, let's wrap it up. Let's end